It's a system. If you get your pitch, it should show up on your website. If it's on your website, it should be on your one pager. Y'all stop sending these boring flyers. Y'all, you cut it out. We got to rise. Okay. We're going to tap into our sovereignty on today. How are you going to tell me you want to be off the financial grid and you still showing up like begging for somebody's attention? No, we're shifting the energy today. But first, we got to get this Zoom going. Let's get it going, get it going, get it going. Okay. Bringing in the Zoom. We're bringing them in. Okay, here we go. Y'all ready? Okay, here we go. Well, good morning, good evening. What to do? How are you? Hootie hoo. Happy Wednesday too. I am the sound of money in your ear, Doll Avant. That's D-O-double-L. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion babe, aka the pitch queen, aka the people's coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of the OGs. Over here, we're getting off the financial grid. Why? Because abundance is our birthright. We don't have to play these games. We don't have to be trapped in the matrix. Listen, this slavery, all of this financial, we bound and tied up, and you ain't nobody because you ain't got no money and all this kind of stuff. Capitalism not built for us. It was built on us and on today and every day. We're breaking free from the matrix. You don't have to live like that anymore. Your bank account should not define you, but it should reflect your brilliance. Okay, so what if you could learn how to do that? What if money was a foreign language that nobody bothered to teach you because they never wanted you to learn it? But what if there was a scholar, a genius, a spy, somebody sitting in the seat of the ancestors who's been in all these rooms, coming back, bring you secret knowledge, telling you exactly how these billionaires, how they move, how they talk at the dinner table, child, what they think about, how they look at a deal. What if that were a thing? That's what I do here. So I'm going to put y'all on game today. I'm going to review what we were talking about yesterday, and then we're just going to keep it pushing, keep it moving. Y'all so used to me not being on time. I'm on time. Okay. Where my notes at? Get y'all together. Here we go. I had I'm always right in terms of what I'm teaching and I'm talking, and I'm like, who is this for? This is for somebody. And then every single day now, kind of like clockwork, somebody comes and they'll call me afterward and they'll be like, that was exactly what I was struggling with, and you just answered so many questions for me today. Well, that's what I do here. You know what I mean? You're welcome. You're welcome. But yeah, this is not a game. This is a transformation. Everybody's not ready. Somebody's still looking for somebody to come and give you a grant check. Somebody's still looking for an investor. And I'm telling you what people invest in. I'm giving you the secret sauce of what an investor would be looking for. So when you're ready to do the work, welcome. If you still want somebody to give you something, you probably don't want to be here, and that's okay. But guess what, y'all? First of all, it's April 1st. And also, it's day number 91 of this 100-day challenge, which means we only have 10 days left. We're going to end on April 10th, which is a Friday, which is our vibe day. So I'm excited. I hope you are. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we've been able to accomplish during this time. This was the most challenging 100-day challenge yet. We're going to do another one, though. Here we go. Let me see. There you go. Can y'all see? Can y'all get in here? I hope so. Okay. Check it out. On today. This has been, honestly, seriously, one of the most transformational. I've done this 4 times. This has been a very transformational 100-day challenge because I forced you to look at yourself. You telling me what you want and all your dreams and all your goals for your business and all this kind of stuff, but I turned the mirror back around so you could see yourself. You telling me you want this, but you're showing up like somebody who doesn't have the capacity to hold that. You telling me you want thousands of customers, you want to be on national TV, but you can't wake up at a certain time at the border. That don't go together. You know what I mean? Like, it don't go together. So we had to really face ourselves. What is it? You say this is your business and what you want to do and your vision. You want to talk for 2 hours. Then when I say, okay, tell me what you do and give it to me in 45 seconds, you can't do that. We had to correct all of that. You say you want all these customers and all this this flow to come to you. And I say, well, how many people are you talking to every day? Oh, I'm not really doing that. I'm just kind of, I'm caught up in the, in the admin, and I'm in the, I'm in the office. I'm on the computer all day. Well, where's the flow going to come from? That don't go together. You know what I mean? So we really did this work of facing ourselves during this 100-day challenge. So, I just want to applaud you. I want to applaud you. You showed up, not perfectly, not every day. Sometimes you had resistance. Some of y'all came dragging in. Sometimes I was a little rough for other people. Sometimes you came even though you were having a week where nothing was really going right and all things, but you showed up anyway. And that's the kind of discipline that's going to build your empire. Because it's not on the days when things feel easy and things are just, simple. That's not what builds an empire. It's the days when it's not simple, when you're not feeling it. And how you show up then. It's who you are when no one's looking. That's going to determine what type of business, what type of legacy that you build. So ask yourself, I'm doing a better job of checking in at the beginning of each one of these sessions. If you don't answer me, that's fine. But ask yourself, where are you right now? It's Wednesday, the middle of the week. It's April 1st. I'm still celebrating the new year. All the energy, all the things. But where are you right now? Have you already crashed out for the week? Where are you right now in relationship to your own work? You can say it out loud if you want to. You can put it in the chat or just think about it. Most of us, honestly, are in this liminal space. Like I said, it's day 91, 100-day challenge. We're doing the things, but then sometimes, we're in, then we're not as tapped in as we want to be. Some of us are living in that space where we can see what's possible. We've gotten some momentum. We can see what's on the other side, but we also, it's it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Like you might be excited, but nervous at the same time. And I need us to kind of get comfortable with that feeling, because that's not necessarily uncertainty. It's really like what happens before you step into your power, okay? Think like a coronation. Think like you've been growing up as a prince or a princess, just running around having fun. And then one day it's like, okay, it's time to take your position now. It's time to step into your authority now. You know what I mean? You're playing around with this idea of running a business. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm about to step into the version of myself that really is making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand. Some of y'all work for corporate. If you've never been paid $10,000, $20,000 a month, I'm talking about after taxes, it gets different. Things are just different. You walk to the store, you look at something, you want it, you buy it. And that, that's not even like super wealthy. I'm just saying like basic. Walk to the grocery store, this is what I want to eat. You buy it. Bill come in, oh, I didn't know we spent that much. That's crazy. You pay it. Like your whole brain has just freed up. There's so many other things that you could be thinking about instead of worrying about money all the time. So we're stepping into the version of ourselves that does not have a money problem. So it's going to be, it's going to be a little nerve-wracking / exhilarating / whatever. And that's okay. Let's get comfortable in that space. Okay. So the first 90 days, this is the last 10 days of this 100-day challenge. The first 90 days were about becoming. We're learning frameworks. We're building systems. We're finding our voice. We're developing our instincts. We started doing the big 5. We're getting enough reps and do it again and do it again. So that your fear, your anxiety, the things that you were uncomfortable with, this is outside of my comfort zone. All those things got a little bit quieter every time that you just showed up for yourself. I'm proud of y'all. I really am. You showed up for yourself. Most people don't. Okay. But there's more. But wait, there's more. These last 10 days, we're now going to make some declarations. We're declaring some things. There's a difference between kind of becoming, getting comfortable with, getting used to, settling into, starting to embody this energy versus declaring. So becoming is an internal identity shift, transformation that has to happen. Nobody knows it's happening. You're in the cocoon. And frankly, that's good, because that also means nobody can stop it. Like when the roots, you plant a seed, the roots go down first, Nobody can really get in there and get involved because you can't even see what's going on. But this part, we're making this transition. When you start showing up on your social media platforms and you start saying what you're about and you start putting your narrative out into the world, this declaring is public. It has consequences. It puts something on record that you can't take back quite as easily. And that's where people kind of get nervous. That's why people say, "Oh, I don't like being in front of the camera." Let's get to the root of that. Being on camera or being responsible for controlling your narrative and showing up, even if you have, other people in your industry they've been showing up and they got more people following them and this and that, to ignore all of that noise and to show up anyway and to declare your own value intentionally is consequential. And that could be scary for people. But this is where we separate people who just talk about what they want to do versus people who build the business and are on the other side of that. You're getting interviewed by the TV show. Tell us how you built your company to $1 million brand. This is you. This is the version of you that we're stepping into. So all the things you don't know, all the things that you hesitate about, all the things every time you hit that thought in your brain, you back down. We're breaking through that today. Okay? We're stepping into our sovereignty. I'm using that word on purpose because you cannot, I'm going to say it in a minute. I'm going to get to it. You can't, don't tell me about financial freedom and you don't want to step into your sovereignty. What are we talking about? Okay. And I'm not talking about motivational things and the little aspirational stuff that we do. Listen to what I'm telling you. The word sovereign, I'm using that intentionally because all of this financial system, this fake system that was built in the 1500s and 1600s, built on our backs, and the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve and how they play with our money, play in our face, and make you think you have financial freedom, but really you just work for them because they take all your money, all your taxes, and that's how they run the system. But they want you to think it's your choice, and they want you to think if you don't have no money, it's your fault. You're lazy. You didn't do and try to get at your soul and your identity because you didn't run their system and run your soul into the ground for 40 years. And they tell you, you're the problem. This has political, historical, and economic roots where all of this energy comes from. People judging you, people looking at you crazy. You at this big age and you don't have no money. You're this big age and you don't own no house. You're this big age and you da-da-da-da. Like you're the problem. No, we're taking our power back today. Okay. So when I say the word sovereignty, what that means is you have the full right and power, like a governing body over yourself. You govern yourself with no interference from outside sources. And that sounds like what I hear when you guys tell me, I say, why do you want to start a business? You say, I want generational wealth. I want to leave a legacy. I want financial freedom. People literally say, I want to get off the plantation. You know how we want to work for ourselves. We don't want to have to answer to anybody. And that is your right as a human being on planet Earth. This sovereignty, this abundance is your birthright. So to be sovereign, to make your own decisions, that means you have the full right and power over yourself, your finances, your life, where you want to move, how you want to live, where you want to live, where you want to go, what you want to do, without interference from outside sources. Now that's a bold statement. And we're not living like that. We already know we're not living like that for real. But we're brilliant. So I'm like, okay, we're brilliant, but we're bound. And most people who are brilliant, especially when you step out into entrepreneurship and your family doesn't understand, and nobody around you's ever done this before, and all that kind of energy, we usually are struggling to charge what we're worth, to, keep going in the face of all these obstacles. Sometimes we don't step out and are not bold enough to reach for deals that we feel like we deserve. We can't get it closed. We start a conversation, but then the people ghost us. We send a proposal and nothing happens. And simultaneously, a lot of times we might watch people who are less qualified, who don't know as much as we know, but they're in a similar space as us and they're winning contracts or they got people, running after them and all this kind of stuff. And I want us to stop looking externally to solve that and go within. So when I say governance, again, who's in charge here? Who's making the rules? Who determines how you show up what you do every day, what decisions you make. Are you governed by the limits of your bank account? Are you governed by what somebody said, who you are and who you not, and you ain't nobody, and what you can and cannot do? Are you governed by, oh, I could never do that. Oh, that's beyond me. Are you hitting a wall, an invisible ceiling, because of something external to you? Are you controlled by what you think other people are going to think? Well, I can't show up like that because what would they think of me? Controlled by what the market said you're worth. Are you scared of, like, well, if I charge what I really want to charge, people gonna bounce on me. People not gonna pay that. Are you struggling with, like, feeling, well, who am I to stand up and to talk like this and to do this and do that? All of that is external to you. We got to shut that down for all eternity. You hear me say it every day, but today we're making some intentional decisions. You cannot escape the financial matrix if you're still living based on somebody else's permission, somebody else's limitations that they put on you. You cannot achieve financial freedom still living on somebody else's terms and what somebody else thinks you need to be doing with your time, your money, your energy, your focus, your attention, anything. You cannot build generational wealth if you're still making yourself small. Okay? So when you take responsibility for yourself, this is a declaration. This is like, Simba when they do the thing and all of that. All of that. When they raise them up, you know what I'm saying? It's a declaration. As of this day, this moment in time, I govern myself. I'm determining my own outcomes. I'm in charge here. You take charge of your financial destiny, your what you're doing with your time, how you're going to structure your business, how you're going to show up in the world. Put your crown on. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. Stop letting these people play in your face. Okay? So we need to get our posture together. We talked about it a lot yesterday. Tap in to start charging what you're worth. Because you're not charging for a product, service, or solution. You're charging for the transformation that you provide for people. Some of y'all need to raise your prices. But you can't do it if you don't shift your posture. We need to be in a position of sovereignty when it comes to relationships, collaborations, people that you can work with, people that you wouldn't have called last week. I want you to call them next week. Send an email, send a DM. You'll be shocked and amazed. People who want to work with you and lean in with you. And that same energy, this sovereignty, whatever word you want to use, this I know who I am energy needs to be on all of your documents, your landing page, your 5-star pitch, and your one pager. Some of you guys are sending flyers out, calling it a proposal and a one pager. It's just a flyer. and this is what I mean. If you make this shift, if you've been rocking with me all this time, you're doing the work, and you're kind of making the shift, you're kind of feeling the power. Okay, you're doing the thing. You're like, okay, I'm there. What happens is you start talking a little differently. Stop apologizing. Change your posture. Stop talking so much. Use your words carefully and mean I said what I said, all of that. Learning how to be detached, walking away from deals and customers that are not for you. But then when I go to anything that's in written form about you, your documentation, your one pagers, your little proposals, your whatever, your landing page, whatever, it goes right back to the old way you used to show up, sounding smart and professional, but it's not moving me. So I can talk as long as I talk, do all of this work. You walk into the room, you talking like royalty. Then they say, okay, send me some information, and you hand them a flyer. So today we got to fix that. We got to fix that. Okay. So all of this is a part of this stage, this way that people out in the world start to come in contact with you. We got to get this part right, because if they don't get the right message when they first contact you, they might enjoy it, they might sit there for 30 minutes or whatever, but after that they're going to look around and bounce off. We need them to stay and be locked in and take the next step and the next step and buy something and call somebody and come to your event and read the book we want them all locked into the world that you're building for them. Your kingdom, if you will, since I'm going to use this language. If you're going to be free from the financial grid and escape the matrix, you must tap into your zone of genius. You got to start showing up in the energy of somebody who controls their own destiny. Sovereignty. Okay? So just like you got a 5-star pitch, you got a 5-star website, I'm going to tell you, any piece of paper that you talking about, let me hand somebody some information about my company, it better have these 5 things on it. That's what we're going to talk about today. But first, let us recap in case you missed yesterday. Again, some of my people need to be here right now. They're not here, and I can't do nothing about that. I hope they listen to the replay. Now, shout out to y'all on the streaming. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. We got up to like a bunch of people yesterday. That was the most that I've had over there on the stream. So thank y'all for being here. This is what we need to do. Yesterday, I made some people very uncomfortable. I hope I did. That was my intention. Because we were naming behaviors that are already signaling what people are willing to pay you before you ever open your mouth. Okay? And we talked about how important it is to make yourself rare and scarce. Anybody, all of my examples today are going to be based on Latanja, your business. Okay? Anybody can be like, hey, y'all, we're going to pull up at the brunch. Hey, y'all, we're going to all wear pink and go, hey, y'all, we're going to wear purple T-shirts and climb Stone Mountain. Hey, y'all, we're going to do. Okay. Everybody want to be outside and just get into the little energy. There's only one of you who can get in there and actually change their relationship with themselves so that they can live all the stuff that they still have inside of them that they haven't done, and they're over 50 and the kids are grown. You're the only one I know who's creating a space for them to get in touch with that and start living their purpose. You're one of one. So the scarcity is what makes you valuable. So I'm not concerned about who else is doing and what else they're teaching and all of that kind of stuff. We're not worried about that. We want to be positioning ourselves so people know that we are one of one. Okay? And the mistakes that we talked about yesterday, brilliant people, hardworking folks, doing what you need to do, but you're saying you're making yourself too easy to access, giving away stuff for free, always making yourself available all time of night, and you're basically training your customers in the market to treat you just like that. So how do we reverse that? Number 1, close the door. Access to you is a privilege. It's not a right. You're not 24-hour open house. You're not a slave. You're not an indentured servant. You're not, anything you need, just call. No. Jumping every time somebody calls. No. You don't have to do that. Making yourself available to every, that's not a good fit for us. We don't actually do that, but I know someone who does. Let me connect you. I'm telling you, every time you make a mistake and don't do that, it's going to take you to, our money is not your money. Our clients are not your clients. And when you do that, you're telling the market that your time is abundant. There's no limit to it. There's no scarcity here. Abundant things are cheap. But instead, if you position yourself, you know who you are, tap into your power. You're letting people know my time and attention is a limited resource. So it's going to be on my terms when I show up in this way. Okay? So every time you make somebody follow your system, your schedule, your terms, out of genuine respect for the way that you run your business, you're training them that your presence, your attention, whatever you bring to the table costs something. And this training compounds over time. You have to train people how to treat you. And that level of respect that you teach them how to have for you will translate into how they respect your name, your brand. When you're not in the room, when they talk about your work, they're going to speak about it with respect because you train them that access to you is not just as anybody can get it. Okay? Number two, stop talking so much. Words are currency. So the more you talk, you're creating inflation. You're printing too much money. You talk too much, justifying your price, explaining every decision, filling in every silence, being nervous and goofy and laughing all the time. The value of your words drops when you do that. So the most powerful thing you can do in having a conversation, if it's a customer discovery conversation, if it turns into a sales conversation, it doesn't matter. When you state your price, stop talking. Don't elaborate. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to justify it. Don't soften it. We're not trying to offer no payment plans. Stop talking. Let them tell you where they at with it. I'm not saying you can't have a payment plan, but you need to stop talking. Okay? Let the silence do the work. Why? Because the silence tells them, I do this for real. I've done this before. Other people pay this. I am not here to convince you. You can do what you want to do. If I were you, this is what I would do, but it's up to you. That silence will do more selling than any talk that you could ever do. So you can't charge high prices and you don't know how to control energy. I'm just telling you. And some of y'all need to charge way more. All right. Number 3, we talked about this yesterday. If somebody disrespects you, does some crazy dismissive comment, they playing too much, they canceling at the last minute, they're making little cheap jokes, anything that's inappropriate. Most people will either laugh it off or get visibly all, in their feelings, whatever. But that all that does is show them that they can get at you. When somebody does something snide and then you respond right back, they know they can get at you. Sovereignty. If you were a whole king, a whole queen, you wouldn't do that. I can tell who you believe you are by how you act. If you have your Bibles, the Bible says, be still. And know that I am God. You can't tap into your God nature if you respond every time somebody says something, you flip. It's not going to work. Sovereignty comes with stillness. I don't have to speak. I'm here. My presence is speaking. So you stop, you look, don't smile, don't frown, silence, go on. If they do it again, address it. They do it the third time, cut them off. That's how you let people know they can't play with you. You're not something, you remain a wild card. You keep your mystery. You keep your value, high value. When I walk in a room, you got to pay attention because you don't know what I'm about to do. You don't know what I'm about to say. Don't overreact when people, just because people do something, don't mean you got to respond right back. Don't do that. Claire says, repeat that. When someone diminishes you, a dismissive comment, something rude, they cancel at the last minute. They told you what they were going to do and then they don't do it. They're doing something totally unreasonable and then they try to blame you. They try to gaslight you. All of this stuff. People do it in personal relationships and they do it in business. I know they do. They're making little comments and little stuff. It's not funny. When you don't hold your power, when you're not standing in your power, you'll either laugh it off, hee hee, ka ka ka, or you'll get visibly upset or hurt. And well, I don't think that you'll get all snippy like that. But what that does is that tells them that they have access to you emotionally. And I told you guys how powerful emotions are. So if you want to make a lot of money, you have to protect your emotional center, the part of you that makes you you. Beliefs are emotionally charged thoughts. You have to protect your thoughts and your emotions to do well in business. When you see somebody doing something and it's like, they sold that for me. You know how many times somebody's stolen something from me? They tried anyway. People out here teaching Saturday school and all type of stuff that I came up with. They literally got it from me in my office and then went and did it without me and got paid tens of thousands of dollars for it. It didn't include me. It doesn't matter. When somebody does something crazy, you don't have to either laugh it off like it's okay, nor do you need to visibly get hurt or snippy or whatever. The response from somebody who's tapped into their power, the response of sovereignty is stillness. The scripture that I just mentioned, Clara, is be still and know that I am God. You cannot tap into your God zone if you don't know how to be still. If somebody can poke and you immediately respond to them, people should not have that level of access to you. So you don't have to smile, you don't have to frown, you don't have to laugh it off. You give them the silence, and then you go back to what you were doing. If they do it again, you address it. They do it the third time, remove yourself. That's what I said. Okay. Then the last part, two more from yesterday. One, that willingness to walk away. That's what I'm talking about. Remove yourself. Even in negotiation, you've been talking to this person. Oh, we're going to work together. Oh, we're going to be partners. Whatever that is. You've been going through all of this stuff. And then you get to the end, it's just not sitting right. It's not feeling right. You're trying to make it fit. It's just something's off. We don't just do it anyway. Talking about, well, I need this deal. I need this money. Let me go ahead on it. If you know it's not a good fit, you must be willing to walk away. So we're not performing detachment. This is the actual universal law of detachment. Literally be willing to walk away. Because what that signals is, I already have a pipeline. I know my worth. I have a sense of self. I'm already doing activities. You're not the only person out here. If I don't take this deal, I'm still good. What happens is, instead of them evaluating you, trying to test you, they'll end up evaluating themselves. They'll try to figure out what they can do to work with you, as opposed to you being in a position where you feel like you have to convince them to work with you. Okay? Remember this. Hear my voice, since y'all say you hear me in your head all the time. This one deal, this one client does not determine your story. And let that be your power. So if you need to walk away, it's not a fit. This man is really trying to flirt with me. He's not really here for this business. This is not going to end well. Walk away. This one deal does not determine your story. Okay. Now, last thing from yesterday, from the summary. I didn't even really get to this yesterday, but you need to use people's words. That's something that I've been working really hard to train you to do in this 100-day challenge. Use people's words, especially if they come back later and try to hesitate when it's time to close the deal and hit the button to pay you. Use their words. If somebody tells you, oh, this is exactly what I need, then later on when it's time to pay the invoice, they start hesitating at the price. Give them their words right back to them. Now, earlier you told me this is exactly what you've been looking for. So help me understand what changed. Stop talking. Let them fill that gap. That's not your job. Just hold space for the truth. We want truth. You want real connections with real humans. This is what I'm saying. This is why we don't jump to step 7 and step 8 and go for the bells and the whistles and the balloons and the drones and the hot air balloon and landing in the middle of Peachtree Street. And, we don't start there, because all of that is performative. What we want is that je ne sais quoi, you know what I'm saying? That secret sauce, that ooh-wee, that thing that makes people stop. When you speak, people stop and listen. And then when you tell them to do something, they move. What is that? We want to capture that lightning in a bottle. And then we build a business around that. That's what's going to make you a millionaire. That's what's going to make you 5 years from now, your yacht or mine. Y'all want to come to my lake house, or can I come to yours? You want to meet me in Florida, in Palm Beach, or can I come to your house in Aspen? Which one? That's reserved for people who are willing to do this part. So earlier you said this is what you were looking for. Now help me understand what changed. We want them to always be telling us truth. I want to hear the truth. I don't want your performative. I don't want your mask. I'm not interested in all of that. That's what they do at Juicy Crab and the Hookah Lounge. And the meatballs and alcohol. They just, yeah, man, what's happening? How you doing? Dapping everybody up. Oh, yeah, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it moving, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do, right? We ask each other, how's it going? How's the business going? Oh, yeah, man, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm keeping it busy, you know what I'm saying? Making it happen, doing what I can with what I got, all of that. But I want the real conversation. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel overwhelmed. I'm stuck. That's what I want to talk about. I'm creating space for that. So you want to have a space where your clients are telling you the truth. So you want to create conditions where that truth can surface, because I want to know what the real situation is so I can speak to that. I want to code my business to speak to that, because if you're having that, 13,000 other people are having that. I want to create a space where people who feel like you feel right now can come and have the transformation they need to have and come on and take this next step with me. So I need you to talk to me. So if somebody hesitates on price and this and that, we want to go back to what they told us and let them fill in the gaps. Okay, so I remember you saying you wanted da 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 da. All right, I got you da 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 da. Yeah. So what am I missing? Let them talk. It could just be, I don't have the money. Okay, cool. No problem. Let me put you on the list, keep you on the drip list, and then I'll follow back up with you in 30 days. How about that? Kind of thing. And let them keep getting value until they're ready. But if there's a genuine objection, we want to know what it is. Because why? If you have a real solution that can change somebody's life and you just let them stay in pain because you don't want to do this part and get in there with them to hold the energy, you too nervous to like state your price and hold your price and know what you're worth and sit right there, too afraid of their reaction. If you tell them, oh my God, it's really $3,000, I can't say that to them because so now you're holding back something that's going to change somebody's life. Now you're being selfish. Everybody out here teaching it wrong. Everybody here doing it wrong. Everybody out here going to, Juicy Crab and stuff. I'm the only one doing the real work. Well, if you don't learn how to master this skill and show up for people and meet them where they are and learn how to speak in a way that makes them want to exit the BS and come to the real work that you're doing them a disservice. And on the flip side, when you learn how to show up in your sovereignty, in your power, in your full authority, that's not arrogance. This is the ultimate service. I always say we don't have to be nice. That's the only Drake's lyric that I will ever continue to quote. Nice for what? Nice is not in the Bible. That's what my grandmother used to say. But we will be kind. And you know what kindness means? If you go to the etymology of that word, it speaks to there's a nobility. That's why I keep using the word sovereign. Nobility. Like I know who I am. I know what I have to offer. And I am here to serve. Who wants to be, empowered and elevated by what I have to offer, my presence and my time and my expertise and all the things. This is the ultimate act of service when you stand in your power. When you make yourself small, you're not serving anybody and certainly not yourself. When you focus on something external to you instead of doing this work, you'll never get the money. You'll keep watching people through the store window. You see them in there. Dang, they got all my customers in there. They in there. Doggone it. No. We need to start walking in our power so those people turn around. What she got going on and leave out of that little storefront and come follow you down the street to where you're going. That's what I mean. Your power, your presence can shift the energy in any room, whether that's a physical space or digitally. When you start showing up online, people will find you. Your tribe will follow you. But you have to make the shift. And you're focused on where you're headed, not on what other people in your industry are doing. It's a big difference, okay? So now, this is where we're headed today. So we do all this work. You get your posture together. You feel clear some days. You stop apologizing. You get your confidence going. You're doing all the stuff. You have a great conversation with somebody like, oh my God, please follow up with me. I'm excited. They give you the information. And then you send them a link to a landing page or a one pager or whatever. And that document that you send them is still this old way that you used to show up. And so the connection stops right there. So you're learning how to embody this energy. You start showing up in a room where it becomes really obvious. You are the obvious choice for them. But then you send them a one pager or whatever, your landing page. And it's just like, here's a list of the services that I offer. Please consider me. That's what your documents are saying. That's what they're saying. And so the gap between the way you know how to show up, the way that when you're tapped in and you do the 5-star thing and you really engage people and everybody's bouncing off the walls when you finish talking in person, same way you do that, every printed document that has your name or your brand on it needs to do the same thing. But right now, I know they don't. There's a gap. And that gap is costing you money. So we got to fix it. Y'all follow me now. It's 90 minutes today. So we're going to be here to 3:30. Here we go. And shout out to y'all again. Look at us. Look at us out here streaming. Streaming. Come on, stream. Of course, I know the Zoom is, we're always in here. We're always deep in the Zoom. Okay. Listen, let's go back to history for a moment. Yeah, but to learn your history, if you learn your history, you won't be shocked by what they're doing out here playing with the US dollar is about to crash. Please get you a plan. Get your money out of the banks. Don't just sit in the bank and sit in the bank. You need to be thinking about what else can I do? What else can I buy? This is why I work so hard so we can get some cash flow and use that cash flow not to buy a Lambo. This is not the time. If you see me in a Lambo, that means I have crossed the boundary. Cash flow, assets. Assets, leverage those assets and use that leverage to fund your lifestyle. And keep you enough leverage and cushion in there so you can move out the way. Because you know they're on a mission to take over the whole Western hemisphere, right? You know, like all of the Caribbean, all of it. They're like, this is America now, all of it. They're going to real-time colonize all of it if they have their way. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on. We need to be on the other side of this. Okay? Cash flow. You need cash flow. And so to stay ahead of what's coming, you need to know your history. So let's go back to history for a minute. Before telecommunications, before email, before any kind of modern infrastructure, whatever, think kings and queens. If you've seen Game of Thrones, that's a great way to kind of get you in the energy. Listen to what I'm telling you. When people were a leader, a ruler, a king, or whatever, if they needed to open the door, get somebody to do something for them, you know, a way, you know how they had to take a trip and it take them 10 days and everybody riding on the horses and the king and the family, the babies and the servants and everybody's all these horses. They got to ride for days and days to get somewhere, right? So sometimes you don't want to do all that. You want to move resources. You want to get an alliance done at the next kingdom. You want to transfer some wealth. You want to do something. The king and the queen were not traveling to every single room and going to every single meeting everywhere. They couldn't do that. So you know what they would do? They would send something ahead of them. They call it a decree, like a document, something that had their seal, their stamp on it. Y'all hear me talk about your DNA, your fingerprint. It needs to, that was you. I know that's you. That's what Quincy Jones taught me. I asked him when I met him. He asked me because his best friend I'm related to. How do I know? Because they called me. He called me on the phone. Black Godfather on Netflix, if you haven't seen it. Okay. And I said, what makes a great singer? And he said, someone who has their own style. You hear them and you immediately know that's them. And that is what we're building here, y'all. That's what the 5-star pitch, the elevated 5-star pitch and all things, that's what that is. When you start talking, oh, that's her. Come on, Micaiah, I have arrived. Yes. When you start talking, they know it's you. You know why Doll Avant is famous and Aqua Janua is famous in my industry all over the world? Is because when I start talking, oh, there she go. There she go again. That's Doll. I told y'all the story. I know Target is canceled now, but they came to the place that should not be named. It's a bunch of people came in there. People from all over the world. And they walk in, oh, you're doll. I'm like, yes, I am. Who are you? It'll be like the mayor or somebody from like the Netherlands or something, like literally. So the whole C-suite of Target comes in. They go into the little lounge down there. And I'm in my office, minding my business. They're always knocking on my door. Hey, doll, can you come down here and do? Is there any food? Yes, there's food. Okay. That's how you get me. That's how you get me to come. So I come now because I want the food, but I got to stand there and wait. So it's like 20 some people in the room, the entire C suite of literally Target standing up there. They had done the tour, did all this stuff. They were getting ready to go to the airport, but they had little time left. So they want to go around the room. Tell everybody tell them what you do. So everybody, like, I'm such and such, I'm in real estate. I'm such and such, I'm in technology. I'm such and such, I'm a lawyer. I'm da-da-da, I have some shea butter. That like just on and on and on. Literally like 20 people. And so they're like, okay. Guess who they remembered? Nobody. Then they get to the end. I'm standing by the food. I'm just trying to. And they were like, oh, doll, tell them what you, doll, this is doll about everybody. Like they do all of this every time I come in the room. So you know what I said? What I always say. Y'all remember what happened in Flint, Michigan? And the whole room shifted. The whole C-suite. They're like, yeah. I'm like, well, 100,000 residents and their families poisoned by the water coming out of their taps. You think this can't happen? This is the United States of America. But you know what I'm saying? I go on to tell the story. But then it's not only that. I said, I'm Dalla Bonner from Atlanta, born and raised, and went to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? I'm a data scientist. And this is what I discovered. Not only was that happening in Flint, Michigan, people all mad at the governor marching in the street. It was terrible. But guess what? There are 3,810 locations in the United States with more lead in their water than Flint, Michigan. I said, I gave a TED talk about this, and it went viral. And then after that, Google called, and NASA called, and Amazon called, and Oprah called, and the United Nations called. And so we're on a mission to help consumers, corporations, and cities understand what's in their water in real time. The same way you check a weather forecast, you could check water quality. So you know what I'm saying? Anybody, babies, corporations like y'all, anybody can answer the question, what's in your water? Guess who they remembered in the room? Me. Because when I speak, I don't sound like nobody else. Oh, I have water testing technology. I have test kits. I can tell you, you can test your water. Nobody cares. I need y'all's fingerprint, your stamp on what you do. Okay, a decree. Something that bears your seal, your identity, your authority, your mandate. Okay, this is how kings and queens used to show up. Okay, they would send somebody on with that stuff. So this could walk through, the messenger, whoever, walk through and take this document, right, with the little seal on it, you know what I'm saying? And this did the same work as if that king or queen were present in the room. They would open gates, people would move to action. It sent a signal before anybody spoke a word. Somebody significant is coming. This is how the world used to work now before capitalism. Think about, this is why when the president gets up, they put the seal on the front of the little podium. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got the flag, and it's signaling. Think about the great kingdoms of Africa, okay? The Mali Empire, the Songhai, Mansa Musa, like whatever. He did not personally, he was the wealthiest man who ever lived, you know that. He did not personally visit every trade partner. How could he? Even though that time he did take that trip, was passing out gold and did all that. Okay. But mostly his authority would travel ahead of him. They would send a decree first. And that seal would mean something in the room even before, if he never went in the room. Okay. This is what your landing page, your one pager, if you're going to leave behind and all this kind of stuff, little postcard, whatever y'all are printing, that's what it's supposed to do. And I can tell you right now, and I say this with love, I teach this all over the world. I teach this at Harvard. I teach, we're very smart. It's a lot of smart words. Now y'all using AI. So now it's AI word. Somebody sent me a one pager and didn't even take the AI part off the top and the bottom. You know how it says, here's your fully prepared document. Da, 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 da. They didn't even take that part off. I said, see, y'all not even reading your own one pager. So I know. Who are we sending this to? What do we expect them to do? Anyway, what we're sending is not a decree. It's like a flyer. It's like a resume with like a little layout, a little graphic. You know what I'm saying? It's like a list of things that we do in a way that, we hope somebody might want to see it, or priced in a way that we hope won't offend nobody, or in some language that sounds like everybody and therefore sounds like nobody. It definitely doesn't sound like you. So what that means is, and this is the problem, the person who receives that document does not have any idea how extraordinary and brilliant you actually are. Because that document did not go before you and make a mark before you ever got there. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody says, oh my God, this is great, send me some information, what you send can't be some garbage. It has to sound like you. So today, we'll teach you how to do that. It shouldn't be hard for us to get it. Let's get it and let's do it and let's be done. Let's do it. How about we just do it? Let's just do it right now. This is nothing new that you haven't heard before. Well, maybe it is. Yes, it is. But like, come on. It's all built on the same principles, y'all. Come on. We can do this. I promise you we can. I know we can make it. I know darn well we can work it out. Okay. 5-star pitch, 5-star website, landing page. I taught y'all that. 5-star one pager. I mean, it could be front and back, but listen to what I'm telling you. Please get your documents together. Stop sending people pieces of paper that do not reflect your power and your brilliance and your sovereignty. Okay? This is what RAIN stands for. This is neuroscience now. It's rooted in how the brain actually makes a decision. So R stands for root. We start with your identity so they know who you are, so we know what's going on. I'm going to explain each one. Then we get to this echo, mirroring their world back to them so that their defenses come down. Then we get to the influence, so they know the credibility. Does this sound familiar? Credibility. So they know somebody else has worked with you before. Grace. I'm using that word intentionally. I can't wait to explain why I'm using that word. But this is where we're not selling features of product and technical details that don't nobody care. We're presenting the transformation that's available when they work with us. And then we get into the right now. What is the very next action you want somebody to take? Do not say, well, you can call me anytime. Let's talk more. This is too vague. I don't. Listen, y'all. If you just met somebody, I don't care how fine this man is. You just met him now. You in the mall. you in the mall. The people who go to the mall, wherever people go, you walking around the grocery store. You're in the Whole Foods. And here he comes. And you see him every week. And next, he said, I see you every week. And I just thought I'd say, what up? He got a hat on. Y'all started laughing about something. Okay. Cool. And then if you talking and y'all, okay, and it's echo and it's okay, all right. And you like, where you work? Oh, my friend works at, he's a human. He's not like a stalker. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what's going on here. And he's, it's some good vibes. And then he says, I would just like to spend indefinite time. I'll just come to your house or to your office and I'll just sit there and look at you for an undefined amount of time. The record is scratching. All of a sudden, I don't want to go. I don't want to do this anymore. I need a specific, defined, listen, I will come. How about lunch on Tuesday at 12:37 p.m.? I will come to your office lobby, take you to the restaurant across the street, and we will sit there for 45 minutes, and then you can go back to work. I need a very clear next step. Y'all stop telling people, well, give me information. Let's just talk. Let's just talk about it. Go to my website and find more information. No, it's too vague. Okay, so let me get into it. Because y'all, come on. We're on the point. We're on the part. She said, no, thank you. We're on the part where we gotta start mastering how we show up in the world. Okay, it's time for mastery now. Graduation. Okay, so here we go. Starting with the root. At the top of this page, I'm saying one pager, but if this is your website, this applies as well. Okay, the spirit don't change. It's just the medium changes. All right, so at the top, if you're doing a one pager, I need to know who you are and what y'all do. Something in 5 seconds or less, a complete stranger can know what's going on here. What is this? This is even for me. Why? We have a reticular activating system. It's a filter. 11 million pieces of information come into your brain every single second. You can only process 40 of them in your conscious mind. So before anything else happens, the person reading this piece of paper needs to know, is this relevant to my survival, my goals, my world? If the answer is no, I'm putting this piece of paper down. So think about a one pager, like the procurement officer in a company. Somebody making a decision about who they're going to put on the schedule for the next conference. Somebody trying to decide, supplier diversity or something. You know what I'm saying? So I got all this information. You got a few seconds. Do I even know what this is? Otherwise, I'm moving on. Okay. So if you got at the top of your thing, it says your name, your company, it says life coach, speaker, wellness advocate. I don't know what that means. So my reticular activating system is already like, okay, this could be anybody. Therefore, this is nobody. Versus helping Black women over 50 reclaim their time and their identity or something. I don't know, but something specific. Helping small business owners and investors secure alternative funding. I know exactly what you do at the top of this page, okay? Mine says Aquagenuity, the Google search for water quality. Okay, I know what that is. Got it. We don't know what's in the water. This is going to help you tell me what's in the water. Okay, boom. It also has my two little logos on there. It says the world's largest water database. I didn't say that. Google said that. It also said solving America's water crisis. I didn't say that. Wired magazine said that. So that's at the top. So you're not confused. So what are you going to put at the top of this page? Like if you cover everything below the header of your page, if this is a one pager or front and back, can they say, and cover everything else except that, can they say what it is that your business does? Okay. What do you do? In one little phrase, little sentence, you should be able to tell me that. Business name, if you got your name and title on there, that's fine. And a sentence, not a paragraph, a sentence or a phrase that tells a stranger, what world do you operate in? What function do you serve? Okay. Everybody should be able to do that. That's number one. Number two. Echo. They should hear its resonance. They should hear themselves reflected back in what you say in this second part. Okay. So, not describing your audience. We serve women in midlife who are experiencing transitions. We serve small businesses in the state of Georgia. No, that's a demographic. That's wallpaper. It's not a mirror. Not your value proposition. We offer transformational 12-week coaching experiences. That's a billboard. No. You want to put something that makes the person reading it decide that they should care and pay attention to what you are talking about. Okay, so not a problem statement. Empty nesting can be a challenging time. That sounds clinical. It doesn't open anybody's heart. This second part of this one pager / your website needs to be something that the person reading it is like finding themselves on your page. They're reading it and they're like, how do you know? That's exactly, yes, this is what my team is going through. This is what I'm experiencing. Because why? When they read something, a web page, one page, or they hear your pitch, whatever, their amygdala is already firing. That is the part of your brain that detects threats. They want to know, is this safe? And so if they're getting a whole bunch of information, it's just like that, and it's not for them. It's not for them. They feel like they've been spoken at and not spoken to. Defenses are up. The way you shut off somebody's amygdala is make them feel seen, genuinely recognized. The oxytocin actually will kick off in the brain. This is the hormone of connection. I told you connection is birthplace of all currency. You want to make some money, don't you? This is how you make somebody feel trust, belonging. It literally shuts down the amygdala. So now, instead of scanning before at the top, they were just scanning. What is this? Is this even for me? Now they're reading. They're leaning in. You only got about 40 words to get to this point. This is why we have to be intentional about this, okay? So we're not writing to an audience. We're not writing a billboard and say, look at me and look at what I can do. You are writing from inside of their experience, from their seat. Not describing them from the outside, describing from their inner world things that they maybe couldn't even articulate, but they've been thinking and feeling themselves. I know I sound extra. This is how you make extra money. You want to make a couple extra $1 million this year, next year? This is how you do it. You can do what you want to do. Look at that, be crazy. I'm telling you how it works. So you could say, we're serving Black women over 50 who are navigating the empty nest transition, looking for direction and purpose in this new season of life. I don't know what you said. Sounds nice. Sounds, professional, but okay. Versus, I'm not saying all of this is going to go on your one pager, but this is where I would start if I was going to write a one pager. Story. You spent 30 years being the person everybody else told you to be. You're making appointments and taking people to practice and doing the meals and making things happen, when making a way out of no way. You showed up for everybody, all the kids, beautifully, did all the stuff. Then one day, you woke up, came home, the house was quiet. Everybody's gone, grown. And in that space, you start to feel something. It's not loneliness. It's not that. It's like, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I would choose. What would I eat if it was just for me? Where do I want to go if I was the only one that I had to decide for? What do I want to do with this next chapter of my life if I get to focus on what I want to do? You've been doing everything for everybody else for so long that you lost yourself somewhere in the middle. And you don't even know how to begin to find it. But it's not too late. Because over here, we are creating space for you to find exactly what you're looking for and get back in touch with yourself or whatever. That storyline, I would zoom that in to like a little 2, 3, 4 sentences. So this is where you get your GPT of choice. GPT of choice can turn that into 3 or 4 sentences that make sense to put on your About Us section 2, right? And that would be impactful emotionally. People will respond to it. But GPT cannot give you what I just gave you. So what I'm telling you is to give me the energy from the lens of the people that you serve and the problem that you're helping them solve. Then we could put it in a GPT and get the little cute 3 or 4 sentences that go right here. But this part should echo. We help people. They were experiencing this before. By the time they finish working with us, they're well over here. And we do that with our, proprietary data. That's section 2. Any questions before I go on? Okay, this is going well beyond some little professional, cute little marketing stuff. This is literally a mirror. They feel recognized, seen, heard in that moment, okay? And it's building trust before you ever did anything. They're already like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. Oh, we need to call her. Like, imagine the person sitting in the office reading the thing. Oh, I wonder if she can come and speak to our group. We need to talk to her. Sarah, have you seen this? We need to call her. Y'all can do what you want to do. This is how I talk. This is how I talk all the time. I did it for Aqua Duty. I'm doing it again right now in real time in front of you guys. So this is what works. So you need a section of your section 2 needs to sound like you're in their head. If you're like most people, you are feeling da 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 da. Our clients have experienced all of that too. That's why we built this solution so that they can feel this way. That's how you say about us, not like we are 37-year professionals providing excellence and quality. I mean, who's not providing excellence and quality? If you're not doing that, why are you even in business? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me something that anybody's website could say. Tell me something that only you could say. That's your stamp. That's the standard. Okay. So close your eyes. If you haven't done this, do it now. Take this as your journal exercise. Okay. Go inside the world of the person that you most want to serve, not their demographic. Get into their world. It's a random Wednesday. It's 3:00 in the afternoon. What are they feeling right now, but they haven't said it out loud? Three to five sentences. This is the hard part. This is where everybody gets stuck. That's why I'm pausing. Make it a discipline to go inside the inner world of the people that you serve and talk like that. Describe what they feel, not what they're going through situationally, but what it feels like to go through that. Their language, their frustrations, unspoken fears, quiet aches. You see the whole world coming to Atlanta again this summer. World Cup. 5 million visitors. Well, I don't know because America's canceled, but theoretically. $850 million going to be spent in this city over the summer. You know you got a product, something that you can offer people, but you don't know how to plug in. You don't know how to begin. You don't know where to get no contracts. You don't know who to ask. You don't know where to go. You feel like once again, you're going to get left behind. 2028, Super Bowl is coming again. And you're sitting right here and all this money is swirling around you, but you're like, I don't know how to tap in. And I went to the classes and I went to the conference and I took the, certification and I did all that. But I just feel like I'm getting lost and left behind. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I'm overwhelmed. I don't even know how to just make my business do anything. I've helped thousands of people who feel that way. I'm going to give you a very simple system that's going to put you right in the midst of all those contracts and have you closing deals 90 days or less. That's what we do. Do that for your business. If somebody need to ask me if what you have in mind for this section is going to work, ask me. Okay, I'm moving on. Part 3. There's only 5 stars, y'all. This is where you put your receipts. Credibility, I say that word all the time. We just did emotion and logic, by the way, if you didn't know. Now we're on credibility. So let's reframe that, because most people, when I say credibility, people think it means bragging, and it doesn't, or showing off. But that's not what I'm talking about. This is about influence. When you're able to influence people, you're transferring trust. So here's what I'm saying. You've done a good job of showing people that you understand where they are and that you've helped other people to make the journey to where they want to be. But it's unfamiliar to them, right? They want to know, can they trust you as the guide on this journey? Okay. Somebody who's been there, who's made the journey themselves, who could say, I know the path. I know the places where people fall. I know what's going to happen along the way. I could take you on this journey of transformation. So when you show your influence or your credibility markers, this shows them that you've made this journey before and you've helped other people to do the same. So the more specific you are, the more this is going to work. Okay. There was a study, I think it was like University of Oregon or something, but they had a researcher and they asked people, like the commercials used to come on TV and to donate to children in Africa in need or whatever. So they say, so the first group, they would say, donate some money to help millions of children in need. And they would give a little, whatever amount of money. Then in the second group, same thing, but they said, we want you to donate so that you can help this child, Rokia. She's 7 years old. She lives in Mali, told about the brother, the mama, this and this and this. So when you donate, you'll help her continue her love of learning. And so she won't have to go to sleep hungry anymore. The donations doubled just because they were specific about who they've helped and what was about to happen on the other side of this donation. Okay, same cause, same urgency. One was abstract, one was specific, totally different results. Okay, so your brain cannot connect to abstraction. Remember, the goal here is to create connection. Your brain connects to specificity. That's what activates your mirror neurons. And this, like your whole nervous system of the person listening to you, they will start to put themselves in the story that you're talking about. So when you say donate to help millions of starving children, that sounds abstract. When you tell me about the 7-year-old, I could see her. I know what she's feeling. I remember when I was 7. You know what I'm saying? All of that. It fires the mirror neurons. So what do I mean? Saying I've helped hundreds of clients is better than nothing. But on this document, this piece of paper that's going before you, that you're not there to talk and to fill in the gaps, you would want to say something like, I've worked with 23 Black women who are over 50 in the last 2 years. These women came to me not knowing what they wanted to do next, but they left with a plan that they were excited to implement in their lives. And that sounds like something's happening. And the person listening to you can see themselves in that. They can see you doing that for their organization. They want to bring you in as a public speaker and all types of things. Okay, so we've helped many women through midlife transitions and helped them rediscover their purpose. How many? What does that mean? What kind of women? What kind of transition? What does rediscover their purpose? I don't know what that means. The brain can't connect. Versus the past 2 years, I worked with 23 Black women between the ages 52 and 67. Y'all know I'm making this up, but they described themselves as living for everybody else, but now they finally see themselves living. One of them finally enrolled in a master's program she's been talking about for 30 years. One of them went back and finished her PhD. One of them started the business she's been talking about since her daughter was in middle school. One of them, and for the first time in their adult lives, they're the main character in their own story. I'm a certified life coach. I've been doing this for 9 years. I've been featured in this specific publication. I've been a speaker at this specific event. I've walked this road myself, and now I'm helping people to do the same. You're communicating influence, okay? Not a list of logos and all of that. It is an actual transformation that you're able to communicate so that the reader, whoever's reading this document, their brain can be like, okay, this is how we check the box of credibility, a verifiable proof that you are real. So, can you do this for yourself? What is that story? Specific, human, real story. Something that you're most proud of for creating for a client of yours. A specific thing. Something that somebody did or said to you after you helped them that you will remember forever. These real stories are your influence. So it's okay if you don't have, logos of big companies and stuff like that. These stories are the most powerful thing that you could do. This serves as a credential. Okay? Because it becomes true for the person reading it in a way that they can literally feel it. It's neuroscience. Okay, so what you got? Client results, specific numbers, specific outcomes, specific moments, media mentions, features, publications, awards, recognition, certifications, speaking engagements, partnerships, associations, and your own lived experience and stories that clients have told you on their journey, about their journey. Pick 3 to 5 of those. And that goes on your one pager. Okay, that's going to tell people she knows exactly who I am and she knows my world. She's been here before. Okay, cool. That box is checked. Now, I hope y'all are tracking with me. This is the part. Don't nobody do this part. This is why we're struggling. I'm literally telling you that when I had a meeting with at the time, the largest company on planet Earth, and I went through my pitch and I got to the end, I did not say, so my technology is a single layer perceptron and it has, this, and this, and this is how we do the machine learning and the. So that is not what I said. I said, when you partner with us, you'll be helping us to intervene in communities all over the world. Instead of these kids having their IQs lowered because they're being exposed to lead, we're going to turn them into leaders, what we call guardians of H2O, so they can, help us save the planet and do all this, do all that. This is the transformation that you get when you work with me. And you know what they said? Sign us up. We are here for all of this. Ha! So when you start going to your features and you're, it does this and it does this and also this and this and this, you actually make yourself small. And what I want you to do, and you're making it about you. And what I want you to do instead is offer a transformation. And there's this word that they only use it in church, and I don't know why. I'm bringing it to this conversation right now. Grace. What is grace? In church, they say it means unearned favor. Grace means abundance, something that comes not because you earned it or worked for it or because you deserved it or because you did all these things to get it, but because you're made for it. It's something that's given to you before you've done anything to merit it. And this is why only people who are willing to stand in their power can make this kind of money that I'm talking about without hustling and running and trying to chase people down. You got to stand in your sovereignty. Because if a queen walked in and the queen says, I want to be a benefit to the people, this is who I can help right now. I can do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And when I get through doing that, you're going to get these outcomes and your life's going to be like this. And instead of you struggling with this, you're going to now have this. Now I'm crowning you as this. Now I'm helping you do this. Now you will have this outcome. Here you go. This is what I'm doing for you. So this section of your website or your one pager, it's not a list of features and services. It is outcomes. Outcomes. When you do this work on the other side of it, you're going to have this outcome and this outcome and this benefit and this benefit. And your life will be like this and this transformation and this. Who doesn't want that? Who wouldn't be like, okay, I've never heard anyone speaking this way, but I'm signing up for this. You're talking to me. This is for me. Okay, so let me give you an example. So my clients, after working with us, they spent 20, 30 years, most of them, trying to earn their place in the family, dealing with the children, trying to earn respect from a husband, trying to earn trust and respect in the workplace, doing all this stuff, never really resting. But now, after they work with us, they learn how to tap into their own power, to walk into the life that was always hers. She can walk with ease and dignity and finally tap into her dream career, restart her whatever. Can you describe the outcome that people get from working with you? This is what I'm trying to trigger your brain to do, okay? This is the part where you stand in your power. Like when our grandmothers used to go to the store, go to the city, go to town or whatever, they would dress up. Because they know what they're worth. They're not finna show up. I'm not just going to be in a bonnet, just walking down the street. Like, my mom used to say, you represent me when you go outside. This is the part where you represent. We've been doing this a long time. We got a lot, we put a lot of passion into what we do. But we know that when you take this product, service, and solution from us, you're going to get this outcome. Can you communicate that with this level of power and detachment at the same time? Not a description of your services, not a list of deliverables. What is the outcome, the life that your client is going to get to experience when they work with you? They're not buying 12 weeks of coaching. They're not buying a workbook. They're not buying the community. They're not buying your methodology. They're purchasing the version of themselves that does not have this problem anymore. Your job is to describe that. So give me 3 of those. Not a 12-week program, not coaching calls, private online community. No, because nobody woke up saying that's what I want. But she has a better relationship with herself. She has more energy about what she wants to do with her life. She has, whatever that is. What are the outcomes? It's not gonna be easy for y'all to flip your brain, but if it's working for you, please bring it back tomorrow. What y'all got? After working with your business, they get specific, concrete, sensory things that they didn't have before, or something they used to struggle with, they don't have it now. Give me 3 of those. It's the hardest part, okay? And then it's the last one, and I'm done. I'll stop for questions. We're going to end, and I made this part clear already, with the now. What is it that you want them to do now? Not a suggestion, not an invitation to explore, not check out my website, not follow me on Instagram. No. Feel free to reach out. Let's connect sometime. No. One specific action, door, move, step. If you take this action, you're letting me know that you are serious. Because everybody else, just get the email and put them on the list. We're going to do that anyway. I hope you guys are doing that. So they can get in the free thing and get your email newsletter every week and do all that. Okay, that's fine. But I'm talking about, how do you go from, oh my God, we had such a great conversation, it was great, to like, no, this is a lead. They're ready. They're on my calendar. Tuesday we're talking. She's going to pay the invoice. We're getting started. You have to give them one step so that when they take that step, they know and you know that they're ready to do something with you. And the transaction is on the other side of that. Okay. Why does it matter that we're so specific here? Not just saying, follow me for more. Go check out my website. Like, no. Because you have a prefrontal cortex. Okay. This is the decision-making part of your brain. Y'all didn't know you were going to get a master class in psychology right now. Okay. This is where voluntary actions are initiated. Like if I get ready to drink some water, before I reach for this bottle, my brain pre-simulated me doing that. It already went through the motion. It knows what reaching looks like. It can see how far the bottle is. It knows what it needs to do before it ever did it. That's how your brain works. So if your next step that you tell somebody is vague, like contact us to learn more, visit our website for more information, follow me on Instagram, reach out to discuss opportunities. Your prefrontal cortex cannot model that. I don't know what's on the other side of that. Contact how, learn what, get on the phone and do what? That's like the man in the grocery store. I told y'all, it's like, do what now? Discuss what? I can't simulate that. So therefore, I'm never going to initiate this action. I hesitate. Hesitation becomes delay, and delay becomes never. So they don't do anything. They what? Bounce off. So how do we fix this? Give me a specific action to take. This is at the end of every piece of content that you post. This is on your webpage. When I say, that's why I'm not telling y'all how to build corporate websites with 79 tabs. I'm telling you to think landing page. Think one campaign, one action at a time. What do you want somebody to do? A specific action. And on your one pager, especially a specific action. What do I do next? How long will it take? The more you can give some specificity, the more there won't be any anxiety. Book a 20-minute discovery call or whatever it is you want them to do, right? What does it cost? It's okay if the next step is free. That's fine. Let's do an application. Let's get on the phone and see if this is a good fit for you. But that's very intentional. You're signaling to me that your time is worth something. It's not just, oh yeah, everybody sign up here, sign up now. I take everybody. Actually, I don't. We need to talk for 15 minutes. Let me see if I can guide you to the right, solutions. This may or may not be a fit for you. Let's talk about it. And what do they get immediately? So if I get on this discovery call with you and I take 15 minutes out of my schedule, 20 minutes to do this call with you, what am I going to get? I mean, give me some deliverable, some outcome, something specific. The brain craves that instant value. Regardless of if you're a good fit or not, we're going to go through our assessment. You're going to know exactly, fill in the blank. You're going to get a plan, whatever that is. What are they going to get for taking this action with you? So stop saying, for more information, visit our website or send me an email. The brain can't model that. The brain can't complete that action in the simulation. It's too vague. Okay. What you could say is something like, book your free 30-minute, coaching call, whatever, at this link. In this conversation, we're going to identify the specific place where you get lost. And first step back to building the life you want. Y'all know I'm making this up. Most women leave this call knowing something about themselves they've been circling for years, but they couldn't quite name it. Or whatever. Tell me what it is you want me to do, how long it's going to take. What do I get out of this? Okay. So I know what to do. I book a call. It's 30 minutes. It's free. And I get something specific out of it. So there's no friction. There's no hesitation. Guess what? I'm more likely to take an action. This is neuroscience. So what's the most natural next step for somebody who reads, let's say, your one pager, or if they're hitting your landing page, or based on each piece of content, a very specific, not go to my website and look at all of the stuff I have on there and buy something. No, something very specific. What I just taught you guys today is from my 5-star system. It's not, because this isn't built, but it could be. This is a part of the 5-star system. If you want to know with intentionality, 90 days or less, exactly, get your business, like stop all of this vague and just lock in, and you'll have a business. May to June. By July 4th, you'll be flowing $5,000-$10,000 a month. Go to this link right here. Get the 5-star thing. That's a very specific action. Everything you post needs to be sending somebody somewhere specific, not just like, follow me for more. Like, okay. Because you don't want to give somebody they're already in a hallway. They're reading your one pager. And then the action at the bottom leads them to another hallway. No. It needs to be a door into a room. Go in here and you're going to get this. Okay? I'm done talking. What y'all got? So at the very top, we're declaring, this is what I do. In the first 5 seconds, somebody should know exactly what you do. Then you're saying, you're echoing what they're feeling. When they read the second part of who you are in your story or whatever, they should feel seen. They should feel found, recognized. Most people are experiencing this. My clients are experiencing this. It feels like this and this and this. Well, no more. You just found us. We've solved that. Then you get into the influence, talking about the receipts that prove that you've done this before, people that you've done this with. Then you get into the transformation. It's really a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift of grace. Okay. After working with me, you're going to have these transformations, these 3 outcomes. And then you get the now. What do you want them to do right now? Very specific. Okay, I'm stopping. What y'all got? Questions, comments, concerns, challenges, feedback, perspective, and personal story time. What you got? This requires a shift. Hey.
Yeah, I was just going through my website as you're talking. So I think I have my receipts or my clients at the end of my page. So I'll have to move that up. And I'm talking more about what they do as nonprofit organizations. So I guess I have to revamp that part a bit. When you first come to my website, it just says website confidence for growing organizations. And then I have in big letters, your website shouldn't feel confusing or stressful. We help nonprofit organizations and business owners understand, manage, and grow their websites without the tech overwhelm.
I like it.
And that's just how it starts. And then I have a CTA, not sure where to start, see how we can help. And I'm thinking about this because I have a button that sends them to my 2-minute money check on Substack. That article, but I may change it. What do you think about that?
I like it. If that's where you want them to go, I would emphasize it. Like, take this 2-minute thing to dot. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Take this 2-minute money check to start or something. Okay.
As opposed to get started or contact us. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then my next section is just websites are supposed to help your business, not create stress. And then I go into, what many organizations and business owners feel about the stress. And then I ended with that's where confidence, ongoing support, and the right guidance make all the difference. And then my next section, I think it's doing what you wanted it to. It's basically, it says more than a website. We focus on confidence, support, and what comes next.
That's it.
And then I go into my story at Iceberg Studios. We believe website, Most website projects focus on launch day. What's missing is We work differently. And then I go into a little bit of what we do. We're not leading with technical jargon or one size fits all. We help, everybody understand their options, make informed decisions, and feel confident managing their website over time. And then I listed 3 examples of what that might look like for different people, different organizations. And then I have a section that says get help before you make any website decisions. And I have a button there that says start a free website confidence check. Now that's a form that they can fill out that takes them through a list of things that.
How long does it take to fill that
out? I would say not more than 10 minutes, maybe 5.
I would put that.
Okay. I basically say your responses are automatically organized so we can review them. And if you'd like, provide a short written summary in plain language. No call required, no pressure to move forward. This step is simply about understanding what you have and what comes next.
Yep. So I would put 5 minutes.
Okay,
I would just
5 minutes. Take our 5 minute. Okay. Yeah, because that section is basically just telling them what the free website confidence check is.
Yep.
I put it's a short self-guided Google form designed to help you take stock of where things stand. So I guess I'll just add the minutes in there or in the button, start our free 5-minute check. And then how we support you. Now I do have different levels of support. I don't have any prices or anything, but do I need that?
You don't really need it. Yes. But this is the way I would think about it. If you have different categories, right? Different buckets.
Yeah.
I would label them. So the label needs to be
the
emotion.
Right. Okay. So this is what I have. How we support you. Have a little intro. Confidence and community is the first one. Guided website support, and then managed website care.
That's literally it. You've done the work.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they want to know what they're getting out of it. They don't know the technical part. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then I have a little thing that says want website tips and simple guidance delivered to your inbox. Join our free Substack community. But I guess maybe I could put that up higher. And then who we work with, support for organizations at different stages with different needs, and then experience you can rely on. And then I have the my nonprofit organizations that I work with, and their little summary. So what do you think? So you think I should focus on the client part, or?
I'm hearing it all check marks here. I'm hearing all green lights. Are you?
Okay.
You're finding that you're converting well, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's
I'm not necessarily through my website, but I mean, someone did mention that they went through my website and they pulled out a line from it after I had, revamped it after we talked about the emotional language and stories.
Yeah, I would say what I'm hearing lets me know, because people are looking at your website. Like you said, you've before or after, they've already booked a call with you, but they're looking on the website. And so what it's doing is confirming that they've made the right decision, so that they keep the appointment with you and they go ahead and start working with you. So it's working. It's working.
So should I put or should I start with the 2-minute money check up at the top, or should I just tell them to join the community?
Yeah, definitely start with the most specific action. I will put the community down toward the bottom. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, the money check is like, it's 2 minutes. It says it on there, and it's for free subscribers, so they might be able to see the whole thing without subscribing. But most of the time, it'll ask them to subscribe to see the article, I believe.
Okay.
So that was my thinking. That was a way to
get the email.
Email. Because the 2-minute money check is the one that is getting the most interest.
Yeah. And you could even put your own little email capture thing and then just send them to the article if you need to do it that way.
Okay. I was thinking that because I do want to start a newsletter on my website or through my website. I just have to do the integration.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay. All right. That works. Thank you.
It's absolutely. It's working.
So the clients, you think it's okay to keep them like that?
What's on the client section? The part that you say who you worked with, that's what you mean?
Yeah, basically at the bottom.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Basically experience you can rely on. We've worked alongside these people. Our work is grounded in this stuff. We don't believe in overwhelming people with technical details. Instead, we focus on thoughtful guidance, and then there's just a like carousel kind of with that pops up the different organizations I've had.
Yes.
And what they're about, like who they're helping and what their purpose and mission is, basically.
That's good. I would, if you could put kind of what you help them to do, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would add.
Okay. I will definitely figure that out. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Go for it, Tracy.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is good information because I'm tired of my website not making money. So people are on it, but they're not staying, they're bouncing off. And then Lakea, like the things you said, the thing about confidence, that was a little confusing to me, website confidence. I was also thinking what a tiny web we weave when you build a website without me, something funny. But I want to just take time to make my whole page one. That's been something I've been wanting to do for a while, to create a landing page that, like you said, takes them from first step, assisted stretch, then, mirror test, assisted stretch, then book, their group classes. And then, from there, if they want individualized test, like I want to make it very simple for them so that they feel comfortable, because you're right, it's that leading them through hallway, from a hallway to a hallway, and confused people don't make decisions. And that's kind of been what's been happening with me.
Yeah. This is the this is the work, guys, but this is the opportunity as well. So I'm excited for us. This is not easy, but it is simple.
And then today I went out to speak to humans again, and I wasn't really feeling it. My day was kind of off a little, and there's, like I said, still a lot going on at the house, and it continues to be this way. And I went to one place that someone had recommended, just accidentally saw it while I was somewhere else, and I'm like, okay, gave them my speech. I felt very confident. I said it as if it was the real show, and I was happy to say it. And then I went back to my car and I said, no, Tracy, there's like a line of businesses here. So I went to one more because I had an appointment at the chiropractic office for that gig that I'm going to be doing, which looks like it's going to be really good. Went to this other business. Didn't look like it had anything to do with anything. In fact, it's a place that they do drug tests for right before you go to business, right before you get jobs. But it was just there. I was like, okay, I'll go in. Didn't know what it was. I gave my speech, and it fits into every business. So I'm like, wow. They said, are you with that yoga place right there? I said, no, but I did just go into there. And she was like, oh, yeah, we would love to have some yoga, here. I've never done yoga before. And it becomes like, yes, and, please, we could do this and that. And it was like, okay, great. This didn't seem like the typical fit, yet it fit. And it definitely got me out of this rut. And then every time I'm with myself, I'm like, Tracy, are you spiraling up or are you spiraling down? Because you think you're in the middle, about to sit in the sun and just kind of zone out. But are you spiraling up or are you spiraling down? Please tell me what this is looking like right now. Is the whole day going to be tossed out the window because of the fact that you're in your feelings? And I keep listening to your voice where you're like, something messes up, then 2 weeks, you got to recover from that. And I'm like, Tracy, is this the way your life is going to go? And this is going to be 2 weeks to the end of the year soon too. So I'm just listening to your voice, and yeah, it's really speaking to me. And the chiropractic office went really well. I was super tired. He did some things for me because he wanted to show me some of the techniques they want me to use, and I fell asleep while he was working on me, cracking my neck. And that was my first time, but he was just showing me some things he'd like me to do in addition to me doing this stretch. Not chiropractic work, but just tapping and stuff like that. But he also cracked my neck. But it was cool. And I was like, okay, I have like a real job. Like as many hours as I want to do there, I can. And we haven't spoken about price yet. So that's the part, because I had to leave to get on this call. Just wanted to, anyways. But we haven't spoken about that yet, but it's fascinating that I'm going to be working at a chiropractic office, doing assisted stretch as many times as I want. It's like an open ATM. He's like, yo, tell me your availability, and that's the times we will book people on your schedule.
Yeah. So when is your meeting? When is your meeting to discuss pricing?
That I don't know. I just left because he went to go take his dogs out of the house. I guess he lives close to a doctor, and he had to stretch. I don't know.
No, I don't know. It's fine. Listen.
Yeah.
This is why I'm talking in this way now. Yes. We're here. Yes. What I want us to do is, we got all this energy and everybody's excited, and we know people want what we have. We have to provide the structure.
Yeah.
So now it's like, great. This sounds amazing. I love that you're going to make this available for us, the space for people to get this outcome. We need 15 minutes to discuss the pricing. We want to do that now, or how about Friday morning?
Okay.
Because you're training him right now how to treat you. If you're just like, oh yeah, no, okay, blah, 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 and then you go, and then he's going to the dogs, and then he's going out of town for 2 weeks, and then
Okay.
He just said he wants to do something.
I let him go. Yeah, I let him go because I knew whatever he said, I wasn't going to agree to anything before I spoke to you, and I wasn't going to agree to anything before I slept on it. I wasn't in a rush. I wasn't looking for this. It was something that someone just sent to me. So it's not like I was working on it and now it got to happen. So I'm just like, whatever he was going to say.
Okay, I don't know nothing you just said. But what I know is you told me you got 90 days to make some money. And I'm telling you you got to structure this energy, and it can't just be floating and da-da-da-da-da. No, it's...
All right. I got it.
Once you make a connection, we have a job to do now. When somebody says they're interested, all of that stops. It's like, okay. What are we doing?
I got it. Yes. Okay. I will send him. I'll call him, and then I'll let him. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We don't got time. Yeah. Oh, spring break. Oh, we need to talk. We got 3 things to discuss, sir. I need to know, any parameters, can I bring my own people? It's going to be your clients. Are you going to promote it in your business? All of that. And what's the pricing? Get it locked in. Thank you, sir. And then you got stuff to do. This is a new anchor in this house. We're building a house so you can have somewhere to go.
Oh, God. Oh. Yes, I'm bringing it all in.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what I need. That's what I need you to do. You got some some suggestions in the chat as well. But again, we don't have a lack of opportunity. We don't need more ideas.
No, we do not.
We gotta lock in and close the things that are already been presented to us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Y'all, I love it here. Thank you for being here. This is exciting times. This is where money flows. This is where wisdom flows here. This is where we can tap in and be all right, regardless of what's going on outside. We can find it here. This is what we do here. So anybody else, questions, comments, concerns, challenges, feedback, perspective, and personal story time? I gave you a lot today, but it's kind of the same. I say the same thing in different ways. Hopefully everybody's tapping in. Go for it.
Speak today on the pain point. That's all I want to say on my morning show. I went right in on it.
Oh, you did? What did you do? What did you talk about?
I talked about the fact that some of them are feeling ashamed based upon listening to the negative self-talk for one, and listening to the judgment from other people. So she may not want to put on that, or whatever the case, because she's concerned about what everyone else thinks. Mm-hmm. So let go. And I gave her the ABC narrative that I have about how to set herself. You know, the awareness, the breathing techniques, and the calmness. And of course, I gave them the fact that they can take on that free available list of the 5 things that you can look at. Mm-hmm. 5 signs you've lost yourself in your roles and how to reclaim you. So I brought them. But the pain point is some of the shame that they're carrying around from not being their authentic self, being concerned about what other people think about them.
I love it.
And so I into that.
I love it. Let's do that every day. Every day. And you give them a very specific, this is what I recommend you do, and the action you want them to take.
Yes. That's talked about you're stripping naked in the mirror and somebody says that they wanted to see. I said, we're not going to do that now. We're not. Some fellow wanted to just be. But that's yes, funny. I'm lucky now.
You can also, another thing I thought about for you was making sure that you use, and this for everybody, the power of contrast. So talk about what most people are doing. Most people are just kind of, well, you got to this point in life and you just floating around. Or I kept thinking about the people that's going to brunch in the pink and purple that you were talking about. And people just outside. Okay, now this is what we're doing, but nobody's healing. So
no one's healing.
They're over there, but over here, constantly emphasize that contrast.
Yes.
Just all throughout as you talk.
Yep. Yes. Do that. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank you for being here. I like your color today. I like that. Yeah, outfit. Anyone else? I'm not gonna let up on you guys. I'm not. I'm gonna keep pushing the gas because it's my job. You know what I mean? I'm a coach. So we're just gonna keep rising. There's no cap on this thing. Are we making millions of dollars yet? If not, then there's still room to grow. So that's what I'm here for. I want people to feel empowered. I want you to get 1% better every day. I want you to stretch further. 6 months from now, you should be in a position where you have clients coming in consistently instead of where my client's going to come from. It's like they're coming in consistently because we built an engine that does that for us. And I'm going to get you guys there. No matter what it takes, we're going to get there. So let me see. Anybody in the chat, in the stream got something? I see y'all. So many of us here today. This is wonderful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for allowing me to share. Wednesdays are as good a time as any to say it, and I'll let y'all go. I say it to myself all the time. Now I'm going to say it to you. The world won't get no better if we all just let it be. I said the world won't get no better. Change is up to me, you and me. So be the change. Get off your assets. Move excuses out your way. And if procrastination is your dragon, you must slay. So I got to go. We're out.